From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of early mornings at LA with incredible great news across the board. On your fourth stimulus check of 2021, in this recording, we go over the incredible great news about that fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check lands in the month of July, and it's a check that comes every month for the remainder of the year. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we go over who gets it, when you get it, and how you get it. We go over why there was incredible great news yesterday amid a confusion of bad economic news that signals issues for FPUC, but great news for stimulus checks. In this recording, we also go over the incredible great news about fifth stimulus that will change your SSI reforms across the boards, increasing your benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits. And we go over the incredible thousands of dollars that will land in your bank account this day, this week, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars coming back from the federal government. It's money you're owed, and it's coming across the board, and I have all the big details in a big early mornings broadcast. From my home to your home, from around the land, from across the board, we have all the details in a big morning. And the toast is toasted, the butter is buttering. I'm so excited you're here. Let's get to it. Starting right now, this moment, direct from Los Angeles, this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE. Hope you are having a beautiful morning this morning. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering, and the fourth stimulus checks are landing starting in July. So represents legislators. I have all the incredible great news about those four stimulus checks, the biggest single payout you've ever seen in this history of this channel, who gets them, where you're going to get them, how much there are. We'll compare the House versus Senate plan and all the details. Then we'll go over the breaking news that impacts your fourth stimulus that happened yesterday, that is expected to happen today, and then happened last week. Then we'll be turning in the second half of this recording to fifth stimulus. That's the incredible relief for new reforms that will increase your benefits and change your life across the board. And in the middle of the recording, we'll go over all the big money coming back from the states and the federal government to you starting today. This is LALATE, a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week financial news channel, the only one of its kind, live in the morning, taped in the evening. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board, from Wall Street to Main Street, crypto to stimulus. Subscribe starting right now. I don't want you to miss anything. I want you part of this family. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, our Calcino VIP. Let's get to the details of this fourth stimulus package starting right now. There is both a House approach and there's a Senate approach, and we're going to compare and contrast starting this very moment. The House approach is to provide more stimulus checks, but smaller amounts. So the stimulus checks would continue month after month like the Senate plan, but be smaller in scale and continue over a longer duration. Which one is better? If you're on the live chat watching shortly after 4 a.m. on the West Coast, 7 o'clock on the East Coast, jump in the live chat right now and get ready to vote. Just not yet, but in a second, House or Senate. And if you're watching the show taped thereafter, jump into in the comment section and post Senate or House. I want to see your comments. So the House proposal is to provide a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. So if there are 4 more months left in the pandemic, then 4 months and plus 12 months after that. 16 months of stimulus checks. The Senate, however, instead would provide stimulus checks from July to December. But before you vote, let's look at the monthly amount, because this could be the determining factor for you. It is for a lot of viewers. So the House members provide stimulus checks of $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000, whereas the senators, the word on the street is that it would be this. Word on the street is the senators would pay you $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000 a person. OMG. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Wow, wow, wow. All right, so now if you're on the live chat while this show is airing live as a premiere, instant premiere, or if you're watching it taped, then jump into the live chat or in the comments and post Senate versus House. Which one do you like? Do you like the Senate or do you like the House? Now, here's what you need to know about the fourth stimulus across the board. 2-month, 2-step process. It's underway. They're already working on the language in the subcommittees. Ultimately, I'm a reporter. I only report the news. I don't make the news. I'm not a legislator. I don't vote on the bill. So I only report on what they represent. They represent the vote will be July 4th, no later. That means you would get a monthly stimulus check starting the month of July for the month of July. No, they can't do waves. They can't do waves of stimulus checks because you got to get July and August, and that's how they would be doing it. Then, is it income? Nope, it is not income. It's not a taxable event. How about the children and the adult dependents? You get all the same stimulus check amount. Adult dependents, children, single individuals, married couple, you all get the same stimulus check. And then finally, who is us? Who gets a stimulus check? Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. If you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth. So single individuals, less than 75,000, you get it. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you get it. And if you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, you get the four stimulus checks. Finally, household four or less, yes, you get the stimulus checks. A four-person household, quadruple it. A married couple, double it. And away we go. That is your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. But guess what? I got more details about what happened yesterday with the CPI, what happened with Colonial Gas, what happened with the spook of Wall Street, with the crash of tech and major indices across the board. It impacts your fourth stimulus, and it's coming up in the second half of this recording, in addition to the president's major deal. Wow, exciting. So now let's cut to fifth stimulus with a preview of what's coming up in the second half of this recording. In the second half of this recording, I'll be going over fifth stimulus. But what I want you to preview of what's coming up later in this recording is that it's a two-bill, two-month, two-step process again. Only difference is, instead of adding in stimulus checks as the add-on, they're adding in SSI reform. Whose benefits are going to get increased? SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, all yours. This is part of the fifth stimulus, and it starts in September, would be out the door in October, November. Stay with me to the end of this broadcast. You're going to see these details coming up later. This is a 30-minute jam-packed broadcast with a lot of details, so I want you to stay all the way to the end because I got stuff literally every few minutes, and I want you to grab a pen and paper because starting in just about 2 minutes of this recording, I'll be going over the big money that's landing today, this week, and next week. Some of it's donut money, so you don't have to do anything, and some of it's tough love money because you got to do something for it. All right, you ready? Let's go do it. First, great news because there is some donut money. Donut money starts with money coming back from states starting this week. And this money is thousands of dollars. What's going on? The federal government, Department of Labor, Marty Walsh, former mayor of Boston, has ordered states to return thousands of dollars back to you. Wow. So you literally would just have to do nothing except eat the donut. Glaze or chocolate? Drop in the comments. So if you received benefits for your unemployment department in any time during the pandemic, and then they told you to return the benefits back to them, because out of no fault of your own, they had a computer malfeasance that overpaid you. Guess what? Department of Labor says that's a mistake. They should not have done that, and they now do need to return the money to you. Wow. So let's go over the details. When? Starting now over the next few weeks. Who? The states. So your state would send it to you. How? The same way you got your benefits all along. How much? If you got an overpayment during this process and they said it was their fault, not your fault, due to computer malfeasance, it's that amount of money. It's thousands of dollars. Wow. All right, I got another donut moment. Wow, we're starting off good. It's getting delicious here. So you don't have to do anything for this either. It's automatic, and it's not coming from the state. It's coming from the IRS. Department of Treasury, IRS, are sending out envelopes, and they're landing in your mailbox this week, even today. Envelope could be white, it could be beige, and in there could be a beige check, or they're sending it to your direct deposit account on file, if that was what appeared on your 2020 tax return, and it's thousands of dollars. What's going on? It's if you had paid your 2020 tax return, filed your 2020 tax return to the IRS and paid taxes on your unemployment assistance, they're returning that thousands of dollars this week to single individual tax filers. If you're a husband and wife and you're joint filers, then guess what? It's coming at the end of the month, so not much of a long wait across the board. How do you get the money? In the mail to the address on file on the 2020 tax return, or to the card on file if you filed by direct deposit. Now, this is incredible great news. How much money is it? Well, this is money that you pay taxes on for the unemployment to the federal government. So, for example, let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits. You filed a tax return with the IRS, a $5,000 tax bill, of which $4,000 was taxes on that unemployment. $4,000 of taxes from the unemployment is coming back to you. Congratulations. All right, now we had 2 donut moments. Now there's some tough love moments. All right, let's do the tough love moments. Moment number 1. You're owed money back from the federal government for IRS overpayment of federal taxes on your unemployment. You have to file a 2020 tax return to get that back, and it's due in the next few days. How do you do it? Let's go over all the details. If you receive 2020 unemployment benefits and took out for federal taxes weekly, then guess what? You have to file a tax return to request that money back if that event occurred. So let's say you took out $100 a week for federal taxes from your unemployment benefits over 10 weeks, it's $1,000. You have to file that 2020 tax return and request that money back from the federal government. All right, a whole new category. This has not 1, not 2, but 3 tough love moments, because guess what? There's a lot of money with this one, folks. Upwards of $10,000 or more. Let's go over all the details. If you have a child that is 17 to 6, you're getting $3,600 prorated starting the month of July, which is $250 a month. Or if you have a child that is 5 to newborn, you're getting $3,000 a month, $3,000, which is $250 prorated per month starting the month of July. If if 2 events occurred. First, you make less than $75,000, not a problem. And second, the IRS knows that child exists and is with you. Oh boy. So this now triggers not 1, not 2, but 3 tough love moments. Tough love number 1. You never file tax returns, and IRS has absolutely no idea that that child exists and is with you. Then you have to go immediately to a tax preparer and get that 2020 tax return on file to say that child is with you and that is your dependent to get that money. Example, a mom who has a 5, a 4, and a 3-year-old, she doesn't make enough money to be required to file a tax return. IRS doesn't know those children exist, and if IRS does not know those children exist, she needs to file a tax return to alert IRS that those children are with her. Example number 2, tough love number 2, which is you do file tax returns. You do file tax returns, but you do not list that child. An example is the child was on someone else's tax return, or the child has been newly born in the last year. Guess what? You got to get that tax return on file 2020 listing that child. And tough love number 3, that the child and you were listed together in a prior 2019 tax return, but you made too much money that year. This year, 2020, you don't make a lot of money and you are eligible. Here's the problem. IRS is going to go off the most recent tax return. The 2019, you made too much money. You're not eligible for this money for the children. But if you file the 2020 tax return because you had a bad financial year last year, you are eligible. All right, now let's go over one last scenario, and this one's a big one of tough love. Missing a stimulus check, first stimulus, second stimulus, third stimulus check. How about a member of the household missing a stimulus check? You got to file the tax return and request that missing stimulus check. So if you had that pen and paper through this recording, you were making notes, I need to do this, you need to take all those all to the tax preparer. Missing stimulus checks, need to alert IRS about a child, or recouping back from IRS any taxes you took out for the federal government for unemployment. You got to do all these things now. This is why tough love is so important on this channel. I'm going to explain to you why tough love is very important starting right now. It's important to understand that when, for example, we're talking about the children's money, which comes in July, in the month of July, if you have not fixed the situation now in the month of May, you're not getting paid in the month of July. And when July comes around, this is what I think is going to happen. There's going to be a series of viewers who watch other YouTubers who are giving false information. And then when July comes around, they don't get a check. They reach out to that YouTuber and say, where's my check? Well, and then they realize, oh my God, there's that other channel. Let me come over and watch here. And I will said, my viewers were told by me in May, you need to get the tax return on file if they don't know about the child. And my viewers got their checks. That YouTuber didn't tell you to do anything and you didn't get a check. It's too late. It's literally too late. Here's another example. This is really where it is big, tough love. You don't make enough money, so you're not required to file a tax return ever. And you're on SSI or SSDI, so you're not required to file a tax return ever. But this is not that situation. This is where the federal government has set up a stimulus program for you to get money for someone other than you, like a child. Guess what? They've set the requirement. You must file a tax return to alert them about the existence of that child if they don't know about any other way. And if they don't know about it, they're not paying. So yeah, you don't have to file a tax return. But if you don't file a tax return, then guess what? If you have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and you have never paid taxes for your entire lifetime, the IRS has, in this example, never known about those 3 children. Those 3 children are going to miss out on $10,000. Why? Because you didn't want to file a tax return? Do it right now. This is a tough love moment. Finally, the big moolah that is landing today and this week, and it's incredible, great news. This is not a donut moment, but it's not a difficult moment. It's money for rent, food, internet, and utilities. Let me go over all those details right now. $350 billion plus is landing your city, county, and state for rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance and homeowners assistance this week, last week, and next week. Where do you get it? 6 places. Hope you got that pen and paper ready. First one, City Hall, then County Hall, State Housing Authority. Let me start over again. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. Let me say it again. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. They have rent, 4 to 6 months of rent, upwards of $5,000. Incredible, great news. Then, if you need utilities, they got it as well. And finally, mortgage and mortgage assistance, utilities for homeowners, they got as well. Now, this is a big tough love moment right here. What's important to understand is that third stimulus had this money, and when it got to law, we said, wow. I said to you, this is the big enchilada for viewers of this channel. You're going to get a $14 third stimulus check. But look at this. I'm going to be able to get you $5,000 to $20,000 of other items in the third stimulus package when they go live. And I said that's a Purple Hawk moment. It bred the expression Purple Hawk, which means that first come, first serve, you have to pounce as a hawk. Oh. You got to get that money before anyone else, because ultimately there's going to be something else I call, coined the expression, a stimulus stampede. When the money lands, everyone's going to try to get the money. And here comes the next tough love moment. You have to get this rent and utilities and mortgage assistance if you need it now, because it ain't coming back, folks. It is not slated to be coming back into the 4th stimulus. It's not slated in the 5th stimulus. It is not coming back. And here's another tough love moment, that the mortgage foreclosure protection and the eviction moratorium are going away under third stimulus. They're not coming back. In September, they're going away. So if you need this money right now, you need to get it right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. The money's there right now. Finally, SNAP. SNAP is the big winner of this channel. It's been a big winner for a while. A family of 4 in Hawaii get a $16,000. Yes, $16,000 because of 2 items. A Trump executive order, which increased their benefits 15%, and a Biden executive order, which increased their benefits by 15% over 1 year. Reach out to Department of Agriculture to get SNAP. It is money for your food. That's 211 or Department of Agriculture. When reaching out for the money for the rent, you call them up and say, I want rent assistance because of COVID. You don't use complicated words like stimulus. You don't add complicated words so no one understands what they're talking about. You may refer to it as the American Recovery Act under Biden, but that's about it. Money for rent, $5,000, 4 to 6 months. Money for SNAP, upwards of $16,000 for a family of 4 in Hawaii. Then there's mortgage assistance and utilities. We're doing really well. We're only 18 minutes into this video, and I still got more money for you under 5th stimulus. Those details, including the SSI and SSDI reform, and the big surprising details about what happened with 4th stimulus checks yesterday, coming up right after this commercial break. Stay with me. I got big news still coming up. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more.
Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
It's a big morning of early mornings LALATE. Boy, I'm really excited for you because, boy, it is going to be a huge, huge day. Stock market was down dramatically yesterday. On Friday, the jobs numbers was released, and the jobs numbers showed that Americans were not taking jobs even though the jobs were available. Then yesterday, this number came out, which shocked Americans, as the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which talks about how much things cost, flew through the roof. Wall Street is expected to grow 3.6%. It skyrocketed 4.2%, signaling big inflationary concerns, crashing Wall Street yesterday. So what does that mean for stimulus? I have all those updates coming up in the second half of this recording. Yes, I told you there's a lot of news coming on. So make sure you subscribe. This is LALATE. You're getting information overload on this video, 30 minutes of it. And I don't want you to miss a single video, a single moment, or a single penny of all this money available for you. So subscribe right now. I want you part of this family. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. If you want the community page, it appears on the link to the subscription in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. Well, let's go back to that CPI number. So the CPI number is critical, not so much for your stimulus checks, but for forced stimulus. Yesterday, Wall Street crashed because it was expecting inflationary pressures to come in at about 3.6%, which is high. And it came in at 4.2%? Yes. This is amid news as the numbers behind yesterday's shocker just left everyone speechless. The numbers showing this incredible price escalation in the U.S. economy included energy costs going up 25% year to date, gasoline going up 37%, used car prices going up 21%. It's just insane. What does this mean for you? It means nothing specifically for forced stimulus checks, but a lot for forced stimulus other items. You're going to hear from me talk about over this week that there's a certain series of items that are different stimulus products. An example, FPUC is a stimulus product. It's a $300 that goes on top of your PUA and UI. Stimulus checks is a totally different instrument than FPUC. Here's what's going on. FPUC is under fire. FPUC may not survive. What's going on? I've been telling you that states where the governors are red are going to end FPUC far in advance of the September deadline. We started the week with one governor, or last week with one governor. Now we're heading to at least three, and I'm expecting virtually all of them. That is because of the Friday number last week where it said people were not taking jobs when they were offered jobs. And then that CPI number yesterday. So what does this mean for stimulus checks if we separate them for the bad news and impacts for things like FPUC? It means actually good news. The good news is that despite violence in the Middle East and the Gaza Strip, despite the problems with the Colonial Pipeline, where there's 60% of stations in Metro Atlanta with no gasoline, the president has remarkably stayed on point about forced stimulus day after day, and he's doing an incredible job of it. His message: get it done. Get it done, which is incredible great news. It's a two-bill, two-step, two-month process, and we're underway. And the president is not being derailed by other things that are certainly very, very important, like Gaza, like the Colonial Penn gasoline problem. But he is saying, get it done. A two-bill, two-month, two-step process. And also amid all that news was three words, which he said which were absolutely categorically great news. Corporate tax rate. Corporate tax rate. The president of the United States came out in the last 7 days and said, you know what, I'll do a deal. Not with Republicans, with his Democrats. Ultimately, he's only speaking to the Democratic leadership. They're doing the two-bill, two-month, two-step process. And he wants to ensure that they get it done. And what was the only potential issue that was divisive? the corporate tax rate. Currently 21%. Democrats say it's too low. President proposing 28, 29%. They're saying that's too high. They said come in at 25. He said deal, done. Wow, this incredible, great news. He says he'll meet them halfway. He's making a deal. He's checking it twice, and he's sending it all the way through so it can be nice. Done, done, done. Let's go to fifth stimulus package, which heats up this fall. And this is a life-changing event which saves love. I'll go over why love wins in this program. So this is SSI and SSDI reform that would increase your benefit limits, remove the asset limit currently and do a new one, add an inflationary benchmark in lieu of yesterday's inflationary news, then remove the income exclusion and then remove the marriage penalty. Oh boy, I'm really excited for you. Let's go over all the details of fifth stimulus. First, who is you? It's you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, survivor benefits, this is you. If you're on multiple benefits, this is you. What are they going to do? They're going to raise you up to a big new number. That is going to be your number going forward. Remember, I'm just a reporter. I'm not a legislator. I just report what they represent. They can change their minds, but that's what they represent. Then they're going to tie your benefits to inflation. You saw early in this recording that CPI number. It shocked Americans. It shocked Americans. Are we at a 4% interest rate? Are we at a 4% inflationary number right now? 24 hours earlier, we had heard from the regional St. Louis head of the Federal Reserve who said he thinks we'd end at a 2.5% inflationary rate. So now we're at 4%. What are we going to be at 6% tomorrow? Every day I'm going at 2% on this channel. Well, you don't have to worry when we're talking about your benefits. Your benefits will be tied to inflation. So if it's 2 or 4 or 6, you don't got to worry because you're going to go up 2, 4, or 6%. Then they're going to remove the asset cap. Some of you have an asset cap that dates back to a 1980s law that says you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand. So, boy, if you're getting those stimulus checks, this will come in handy. Then they're going to remove the income cap. It dates back to an antiquated 1960s law that says you can't stay on benefits and get a job. So if you do want to work, you don't have to, but if you do want to work, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 you pull in, amen, you can do it. And then finally, they're going to remove the marriage penalty. People who've been married have been suffering from this marriage penalty, and people who wanted to get married have not consummated their love because of the marriage penalty. It's going away. And love is winning. Love is winning as people can marry and not worry about losing their benefits. Incredible great news across the board as we go over now our fourth stimulus check of 2021, the fifth stimulus check of 2021, and the big money landing across the board from you, from the cities, states, and counties. Here's what I want you to know and across the board is that when you're trying to get that money, whether it is tough love money, it is donut money, or it's the money for rent, which is not tough love money, but it's money that's available for you. I want you to think about the following things. This is new for this early morning's broadcast. Number one, when you're looking for rent and utilities and at the city, counties, and states, you're going to get a no. You'll get a no. That doesn't mean you stop. You don't mean you stop at one no. You keep on pushing. Someone sent me a message yesterday, says, I have no idea what the phone number is for my county. That does not show pushing. First of all, I'm not Google. I'm not 411. But if you can't even get the phone number for where the county offices are, you're not going to survive. Ultimately, you can get that. You can do this. Absolutely. I have faith in you. You can do it. I'm going to use the example of a viewer last fall. He heard my recordings. He was from Southern California. He knew there was no money from the state of California. There was no money in Southern California for rent. But he was in San Bernardino. I don't know much about San Bernardino. Well, he found there was a San Bernardino Housing Authority. A who? A San Bernardino Housing Authority. He found it. And he got upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 of rent. It changed his life. So that is how you have to take initiative. You have to take initiative. Contacting me and asking me for a phone number of your housing department ain't taking initiative. You got to do it. You got to get it. You got to get it first. And you got to take no as not an answer. You got to go looking for the next one. Number two, when talking about tough love money, it is just so important for you to understand that there's a timeline. I saw one person in the comments yesterday said, if you have a tax preparer that doesn't want to do anything, it doesn't want to listen to you, it doesn't want to take care of the initiative, go to another tax preparer. Amen. Ultimately, I'm not a tax preparer. But if you listen to these videos and sense that there is something you need to do, you certainly sense that there is some action you need to take, then you better do it. And you better do it quickly. Finally, When talking about forced stimulus, which one do you like? Senator House, Senator House. If you're in the live chat, drop in the comments right now. Senator House. There's a slight different approach in mindset between Senate and House. The concept for House is that you want more months of checks and a larger amount over time. Whereas the Senate approach is that you want the biggest payout over a quicker period of time. You want to get caught up on your bills as quickly as possible. So that's the concept of the Senate plan versus the House one. So which one do you like? Senator House? Senator House? Drop in the comments right now. And I look forward to seeing you on Mornings LALATE in just a little bit. Join me on Mornings LALATE, then followed by Mornings Crypto, our morning show that goes over the latest moves of cryptocurrency. Boy, our show is getting very popular. It's getting very understood. And I keep it very simple with a lot of charts and a lot of information. So everything is very, very easy. If you can figure out how to find stimulus, if you can figure out how to call the city and county to find your stimulus check for rent, if you can figure out how to claim an unclaimed child to get $3,600, you can certainly figure out how to read a chart on where cryptocurrency is moving. Ultimately, no one's telling you to buy a currency right now or a coin. It's information. Information is king. And the more that you know information, the better and stronger you're going to be as an individual. Don't keep yourself back. Push yourself forward. Make yourself a better person. Make yourself an informed person. Take time. Everything takes a little bit of time to understand. As you hear it over 3 or 4 times, with a show in the morning, a show in the afternoon, you start to learn a little bit across the board. And as you watch things, watch with your friends, talk about what's going on. Make it part of an enjoyable discussion because this is going to be a great year for you financially. We'll be covering a lot of other subjects as well. So stay informed by subscribing. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.